Ahoy there, Voyagers! Welcome to Hive Fleet. Today we're setting up our fleet and heading on our first expedition out into the boundless waste towards the nuclear reactor. My plan today is to show you my starting fleet that I've come up with because I wasn't too happy with the standard ships that are on offer. The first up is our Kui. It's an electronic warfare ship designed to scramble enemy radars, as well as it has ELINT sensors there to detect enemy emissions. This thing here is designed as our little shuttle to take back reinforcements and resources to the main fleet, as well as a throwaway ship if we come under sustained bombardment from strategic missiles. Nice little ship. We're just tidying her up a little bit there. I didn't quite have the best range there on the jammer and the ELINT sensor. It doesn't have landing legs because I don't intend to have it ever land in a city, and if it takes damage it will probably be destroyed. When I was building these auxiliary ships, I was aiming for a fairly large range of between 3,000 and 4,000 kilometers and a minimum speed of 500 kilometers per hour. All of the ships that I made started with this base design and extended outwards from there. So the next one is the Heilemann, which is a ballistic missile defense ship. Very cheap, trying to keep it under 8,000 or 9,000 credits in cost. It's got a jammer, it's got a fire control radar, and it's also got 6 point defense missiles. This is also following in the same lines as the Kui, but it is also designed to counter threats to our smaller task forces. This is a throwaway ship as well, and if I get the chance I will upgrade the fire control radar, but for now I wanted to keep the costs low. You'll notice that it's got 3,000 kilometers of range and 545 kilometers an hour of speed. It doesn't have any maneuvering thrusters, and we don't ever intend to take this onto the battlefield itself. Next up is our Radar Picket. This ship is designed to stay well away from the main body or the main fleet, but give us operational awareness. I've given this one a fire control radar so that it can help to guide in strategic missiles from outside guidance range of our standard weapons. I'll use these to clear the way for the main flagship. If I want to move into an area for over a long distance, I want to make sure that that area is clear. I'll also use these to try and find any hidden cities that may be out in the desert. The next class of ship is the Haura. Dedicated anti-aircraft ship. She has, I believe, 16, 6. She's got 12 point defense missiles and a dedicated CIWS. Fire control radars allow for up to 3 missiles to be guided at once, and I've tested this ship against carrier fleets, and it's able to kill most of the aircraft and then take the carriers out with the CIWS weapon. It's fast enough to get around, and it should be able to dodge any ballistic missiles that are actually shot at it, aside from nuclear weapons. Very pleased with this ship. It's not as fast as the other ones, but that's okay. Her job is to stay with the main flagship and provide point defense if there are incoming fighters. So we will send them out to intercept fighters coming in or missiles coming in if we're quick enough, and that she should be able to take them out with no worries. The next up is our Huon class tanker. I took the standard Skylark design and expanded on it to get more range at the cost of less speed. This is our mothership, and she is vital in fueling the next class of ship that I designed, our attack class ship. I downgraded the ELINT sensor to a smaller model, and I managed to create this ship with a much cheaper cost with a much more support capability, and I'm pretty happy with this one. Okay, we have our main attack ship, the Hobart class destroyer. The game says this is a frigate, but I would prefer to call it a destroyer, and that's the design methodology I went with. She is well gunned, able to support 5 turrets in very well covered arcs. I've tried to make it so that every single angle of the ship has 8 guns firing. In the initial loadout, when we go into the campaign, she will only have 6 guns, or 3 turrets, but this is what she looks like at full refit. Have the AK-100s all around, and she has a lot of firepower. I also designed the wing turrets, or the wing pods, to have a various capability for different systems. So in the initial stages of the game, we'll have lots of missiles, but I plan to put in point defense and better flares because I'm not super happy with her ability to dodge missiles at the moment, and she has a lot of weakness from below. So when we're playing this ship, our goal is to get in fast, kill them before they take off. If we can't do that, we get in nice and low and use the top end to be armored. She also has the capability to support bigger weaponry with no modifications. So we can add a 130mm gun with no issues. My biggest issue with the standard ships was the Sevastopol, and I'm assuming that the story just says that she's barely finished and hardly refit, and that makes sense because the armor scheme's not great. She's got lots of point defense ability with 12 of these point defense missiles, but I just wasn't happy. Like the ammo magazines are right next to the fuel tanks. There's not a lot of armor coverage on the bottom. There's a lot of redundant engines here, which leave you exposed from below. And she was really built as a battle cruiser. She's a lot of firepower with the I don't even know what they are. They're like a 6-barreled artillery piece that fires humongous 180mm shells. Lots of firepower, but this is what I came up with. And this is the Tasman class battle. Support cruiser, I should say. I've downgraded the guns to the AK-100s, and they're purely for point defense. We're planning to run flak shells for these guns. Shooting down small craft if they get nearby. We've got the hangar deck, which I think was essential for our overall doctrine that I have in mind. And I've got enough fighters here for 3 squadrons, able to carry various amounts of ordnance. I'm not super happy with this top deck, but I don't really want her in battle at all. And I have a feeling it might break off if she does see combat. But I did space out the center mast to get rid of all the redundant systems, which seem to be tying up the costs. I replaced all of the smaller engines down below with much larger engines, which increased our efficiency and brought the top speed up to 144 versus 110 with the standard Sevastopol class. We've also got here, I put a little launch tube in there just for lols. Bit of role playing that these missiles on the top deck do need a launch tube, but I plan on taking all of these extra missiles out here. I spent a lot of money on extra ordnance, which we're going to give to our fleet when we start the game. So I managed to bring the price down to 170,000 credits versus 199, and I think that's going to support my planned fleet in a much better fashion without being too overpowered. She has a lot of space for upgrades if I need to. That whole bottom section, I've sort of buffered it away from the fuel tanks because I felt like the fuel tanks were too close to the bottom decks, and so I put a whole gun deck down there below if I need to. I also moved the point defense systems to the stern of the ship and tried to give her more of a ship look. Let me know what you think. I'm no expert at building in this game, and I haven't actually finished a game, but I've enjoyed this little process. The next up is our missile carrier, which we're going with a doctrine of submarine warfare here. We don't want this thing to ever be seen or found, and so I removed all of the armor, and it's really just an upgraded version of the Yars Mark II, able to carry 8 strategic missiles at a reasonable speed over a reasonable distance. She can work without carrier support for a limited amount of time, without tanker support, and I feel like she's got some extra point defense because no doubt if we're firing missiles they will probably come back. So I gave her some point defense ability and the ability to guide her own missiles at short range. And I think that's all of my ships done. Let me know what you think of my ship designs. Like I said, I'm no expert. Have not finished the game at all. Only played it for my review that I made the other day. Got nuked into oblivion. So let's begin. By the grace of God, we, Kerem Shah II, Emperor of the Romani, Great Duke of the lands of Horan, Monarch of Shem and Jerat, most graciously grant the title of Tarkan of the Fleet to the Grand Duke Mark Sayedi Salemski, thus granting him command over the ships of the Imperial Fleet at his sole discretion, the number of which shall be in accordance with his title. May God grant him the wisdom to use the power of which he has been entrusted for the good and honor of Romani. Okay, we are in, we've given the pledge, we've seen the seal of the Emperor. What shall we decide? Well, first thing, we'll toss out the Sevastopol. You can totally finish the game. There's nothing wrong with that. I had to edit the Tasman to make it the flagship, but this is how I want it to be. So after careful deliberation, we have a Tasman, 2 Hobarts, a Woomera missile carrier, a Howrah ballistic missile defense, 2 Huon tankers, a Hylamon ballistic missile defense ship, 2 radar pickets, and 2 Kui electronic warfare ships. I think we can do it. We've got a little bit of change left over, and our fleet maximum range is 4,113 kilometers, which is fairly substantial. It's a decent range. So we don't have the most firepower with us, but the 2 Hobarts are going to pave a way for us. Okay, no Alaim can endure the open air for long, so many of them hide their face. But this one was unlike the others. People begin to whisper that he walked by. Others, Alaims called him the Alashir, and treated him with particular reverence. I know that Admiral Daud questioned him. He tried to get him to talk about the people who came with him on the ship. This Elaim convinced the crew of the Sevastopol to take the ship to Ur, and that is all that we know about him. I cannot imagine what he did to convince them. Grand Duke, allow me to speak with you? This is the first time I'd ever heard his voice. I know you hoped the Tarkans of Jurat will support you against Kiva. The infamous Omar Khan has found refuge to the northwest of Ur. If you meet with him, I kindly ask that you give him a delicate pot. The Elam bows and leaves. We're going to look inside that pot. The very bottom of the pot is covered with a strange ointment. Its smell is strange. So there is a Tarkan to the northwest of here. Would you like me to brief you on the operations? No, the Grand Duke does not need a briefing. We are about to embark on an epic mission. Alright, so the first steps are to check out the supplies. We've got a little bit of gold here to spend. So I'm going to try and grab as much useful ammunition as I can, namely aircraft bombs. Since we have a carrier with no weapons, we must grab some ordnance for our aircraft. I plan on spending all of this money, which I shall do presently. Alright, incendiary. We'll take some of those. I would prefer the proxy fuse. We'll take some armor piercing. No. Aircraft rockets? Yes, we'll take those. Those are big ones too. 340mm aircraft rockets. Supplies, we'll grab as much fuel as the budget will allow. Okay, so the first steps are... Now bear with me, I am still mastering the interface itself, but we want to turn off our radar on all ships, thank you. Then we're going to split off into our strike forces. So we've got the Hobart class, the Huon, we will take a radar picket and a Kui, and then we will give them a bit of fuel to head out north to Alma, which looks like a shipyard or a repair station. It's a fair distance away, so we're going to up the notch here, which will give more fuel to the ships that we're detaching from our formation. We want to give them just enough to reach there, because I plan on buying more fuel once we've captured the city. Alright, that's our first strike force detached. We're going to detach a second strike force, which will be another Hobart, another Huon, a Kui. Yeah, and that should do us, I think, for now. And we want to up the range and send them to Umar. Send them off. It's going to take 4 hours at 287 kilometers an hour, traveling at the slowest speed of the slowest ship. Meanwhile, our flagship will keep refueling. We bought some fuel. And I probably should add the radar picket back to that. We're going to send them in. Oh, that didn't work.
Come back in one piece.
That did not work at all. We won't have to worry so much after this. Once they're detached, they will rarely meet up again. So I need to grab... What is going on here? Alright, so... Wait for them to take off, just so I know which dot is which. We're going to Hobart, radar picket, Huon, and a Kui. We're going to detach them as well once they have enough fuel for the journey. Detach them north as well.
Roger that. Good luck.
Takeoff sequence happening. It seems like I accidentally sent the flagship to a different place. We don't want to do that. Stop. I seem like a noob now, but we'll learn quickly. Okay, go back into town. We want to make sure we're buying as much fuel as possible now to get to the next fuel storage area. And we're going to ask this guy for money. He'll give us 10,000 gold if we say please. There we go. If we do that again, we'll lose him. I won't lose him, but we will skirt the boundaries of our friendship. So we want to buy enough fuel to get to the nearest fuel storage. We have one to the north and one to the west. The next step, I'm going to strip out all of these missiles which present an extreme fire hazard on the open deck. It's a lot harder to edit this ship on this particular page due to the blueprint style. So we will only have to do this once. Taking out all of these anti-ship missiles. And that gives us a buffer in ammunition because a lot of our attack strategy with the Hobarts relies on the missiles. And so we want to have a ready stock for them if they need it. The way I've built the side pods on the Hobarts as well, if they take a lot of damage, they risk losing all of their missiles. And we will take out a couple of these ballistic missiles too and give them to the Woomera so that he's got a little bit of long strike capability. Okay, that's done. We'll keep a couple in the tubes. I don't know exactly what all the missiles do. I just know that there's cruise missiles and nuclear missiles and radar hunting missiles. And at the moment we have standard cruise missiles. And the R3, which says it's a theater ballistic missile. So I'm assuming it has a very long range. And we don't want to save a new class. And I believe we are done here. Looking good. We've got all of our missiles in the storeroom rather than on the top deck of our flagship. Looking good. Alright, let's head out. I think that's it. We're done here. We just need to wait to refuel. We need a lot of fuel, so it is going to take a day, maybe two. But then we will have enough to go pretty much anywhere within a decent range. Alright, so our two strike forces are moving out. And there is a little separate area over here, a little arm of the constellation, so to speak. So let's set up a search zone for Tarkans. We'll go 20 degrees either way. There's something bound to be out here. We'll label Tarkans for now. Or a hidden city would be even better. Alright, so our strike forces are underway. The flagship is refueling. 6 hours into our operation. Speed up time a little bit until we get close. Once we're in the radar circle, we want to dispatch the Hobart to launch its attack.
Come back in one piece.
Both Hobarts have been dispatched from their strike forces.
Come back in one piece.
They are about 50 kilometers an hour faster, so they'll arrive a short time ahead. We've got about a 95% chance of surprising them. Which isn't perfect, but it's most of the time. Slow down the other team so they don't arrive there too close behind. No, we've already done that. Thank you. We've already sent out our strike force. It looks like they're going to arrive almost simultaneously. Speed up a bit. Alright, we've made it. That little bar indicates the surprise, and they have not even detected us. Now it's just a matter of swooping in like an eagle and swatting them before they wake up.
Kill confirmed.
He's got liftoff.
The enemy has been destroyed.
There we go. Lots of firepower there. Lots of firepower. But it will get harder. That was simply the first fight. Okay, now we have to look for wreckage. Valuable wreckage. So we'll take the fuel tanks. The second Hobart's arrived at its battle. Just going to do a lot more of the same. Launching off one of our downward missiles.
Target destroyed.
I did that because I knew that that little bugger has missiles too, and I was hoping to kill him before he launched them.
Kill confirmed.
Missiles from below are our major weakness at the moment, until I can sort out something with the flares dispenser. Okay, lots of wreckage from this one. We will take missiles because we spent 2 of them. That would be a good one to take. We'll collect the missiles that we spent on this battle. While we wait for those rescue operations to happen, the rest of the fleet will arrive. Everything's looking good. So my real thought for this battle is we're going to act like an aircraft carrier task force. We're going to use the Hobarts to raid and pillage and collect supplies. We're going to use the Hewans to tanker, to extend the strike range of the Hobarts well away from our flagship. But we'll also try and keep the missile carriers within answering distance. So if the Hobarts get into trouble, they come across a strike force, we'll deploy our radar pickets, our electronic warfare ships, and then we will launch strategic missiles to take out the strike force or severely damage them before swooping in with the Hobart to clean up the debris. Alright, so our rescue operations are doing well. We've just got to collect all the stuff. Got a good collection of fuel there, so we've already started refueling before even exploring the town of Alma. We've found some repair parts which will speed up repair on any ships that get damaged in that fleet. Here we are. No damage was taken, so we don't really need to land. You are approached by a traveling monk dressed in incredibly tattered rags. He declares himself self-importantly that the Almighty has heard your plea and sent him to you. The bedraggled man claims that the Almighty wishes for you to accept him into your retinue and provide him with all the food and drink and shelter that he requires. I think not. Without any credentials from said creator, I don't think I'm going to be feeding you. We're going to tell him to go away. I almost thought you were going to take him in, Duke. Well, no, we weren't. You don't know us very well, but we have earned Admiral Dodd's respect. Alright, what do we need to do here? Well, we can top up the fuel, but we don't really need to. Let's have a look. We've got aircraft missiles, which will be invaluable for shooting down fighter squadrons. Grab a bunch of those. More aircraft rockets, but a smaller variety. More aircraft bombs. Not much else. Laser guided, but they're very expensive. Prox fuse 100mm. Yeah, we're going to spend, I guess, all of our money on that. We might need some for fuel, actually. Let's have a look. Go to the Shipworks. What have they got for sale here? We've got nothing to sell. They've got nothing useful to buy. Aside from damage repair stuff. No weapons. Ideally, I want to scavenge some weapons to fully fit out the Hobarts to their maximum capacity. Alright, top up the fuel while we can. When we've got enough to go to the fuel station, we'll leave. There's more fuel to collect there. The rescue operation at Umar is much more pronounced because there was a lot more wreckage. I think that depending on how much damage you do to the ships, like if you obliterate them, there's not much wreckage. It seems to be that way. That could just be observer bias though, I'm not sure. Alright, we have enough fuel to make it to the next fuel station, so we will head off and we will leave a little supply of fuel behind. Alright, task force is away. Reports indicate that the Jarati Tarkin in the area northwest of City Umar. So we're heading in the right direction to find that Tarkin. We've got ships for sale here, but no money. Oops. Cancel that. Alright, so we want to top up our missiles that we fired in this mission. We collected 2 back. Chuck those in there. The downward facing ones are more useful for attacking at the moment. And we are fully stocked again. It's going to take 2 hours, so let's land it. Now this ship can land in a 100-meter wide landing bay.
Getting final approach.
And it can land in a 75-meter landing bay, but you scrape the sides all the way down. So we have to stick to the larger ones.
300 meters.
Coming in. Lots of thrust ability, so we're not worried about speed here.
100 meters.
Right into the slot. There's the 100-meter bay. We picked that one right.
Touchdown confirmed.
Nice soft landing. It's really nice to fly something you built yourself. And now we put those missiles in, and it should only take a little bit less than an hour, 2 hours. Not sure why it cost me money though. That sucks. I don't have any money, so good luck getting it. Alright. Pretty much done here. Can't buy any fuel just now. We have to wait for the other strike team to find some salvage. We're kind of running on the skin of our teeth. Hopefully we can find a fleet or something to rob. Piracy is the name of the game. Just gotta wait for fuel and repairs. Right, we'll break Hobart away to attack Yori. This is our 3rd attack of the game.
Roger that. Godspeed.
And if we can get as many of these... No, we don't want to make a strike group. If we can get as many of these attacks in quickly before we are even detected, that would be ideal. Let's sell a little bit of fuel. Can you sell fuel? Yes, you can. Alright. Alright, just gotta wait for the Hobart to arrive. Speed up time. We've arrived. There is a slogger, so he's going to fire missiles at us. Got to be aware of those.
Missile launched.
We've got him targeted, so we'll fire one back.
Kill confirmed.
Got him with the missile. And we'll get the Courageous just as she lifts off. That's what we want, shock and awe. Okay. Law, we got some money to collect here. Let's grab that before it goes away. That's 3,000 that we need that. And then we'll have to do the fuel tanks. I don't really want to put on the protective gear to protect the crew. Sorry, crew. Once we've sold that, we will refuel the strike force at Umar. While we're waiting, let's have a look at our objective, Kiva. It's a long, long way away. No doubt lots and lots in between there and us. A long journey ahead. Okay, we'll grab the fuel tanks. Free fuel is always appreciated. Grab the ammunition. Oh, nearly 1,000 fuel, that's great. And once we've landed, we can take the sell that gun we picked up and give the other strike force some money. Tiny bit of damage. No Tarkans here, no one to talk to. Let's just grab some fuel. No, we don't have enough. We need to sell our gun. Alright. Sell the gun. Got the money. We don't need fuel at these guys because they've got a fuel storage they can head to next. Once they've collected all the free fuel they found. We can buy fuel for these guys. If I were to find a what do you call a trade fleet now, that'd be great because I could buy some extra ships. Just enough fuel to get us to the next fuel storage. And then the Tasman will arrive in a few hours after them. Once the fuel at Yori's collected, where should we head? I'm going to send the radar picket out because look, there's some roads heading out into the desert. So let's send the Kui out. Have a look. See if this is a hidden city just here. We've got 1800 kilometers worth of range. Let's head 1,000 kilometers out. We'll have more than enough fuel to get back then.
Roger that. Godspeed.
And these ships use hardly any fuel, so it's no concern. Send off the second strike force to the next town. Let's send out this little scouty boy and see what you can find. We're using the radar picket because it's got ground radar. It's much better use for it. Fortunately, that doesn't look to be anything. Ground radar hasn't picked up anything in 500 kilometers. We won't send them out too far. I was just curious. The roads end, so it was sort of a tease, I think. Alright, Tasman and her entourage are heading to Uma. Sorry, they're heading to reinforce with the second squadron. We may as well just send them all the way to Dedan. By the time we get there, we'll have captured it. Alright, let's head to the next fuel storage area. Capture some more stuff. And see if we can get... then once we've secured some money, we're going to start looking for intel on the strike groups and see if we can't destroy a strike group this episode, or at least sort out finding where they are and how we're going to take one down. I want to collect some high value components, and I think they're only available on strike groups. Like a new radar for my radar pickets. I want the larger version. Hobart's out to attack Dedan.
Roger that. Godspeed.
Alright. That big dead area to our east. It's really concerning to me. It's a lot of desert to cross just for 2 or 3 towns. There has to be something out there to find. Hobart has detached to attack Erbil as well. So So I like to think we've got attacks going down in multiple places at once. They don't really... We've got a much bigger fleet than we appear that we have. Nope, our strike ships are ready. Already on the way to Erbil. Slightly ahead of, 90% chance of surprising them. We've arrived at the other place. What have we got? 2 Courageous and a Slugger with missiles, so we need to watch out for those. Missile inbound. Take out at least one of the ships before they even know we're here. Oh, he's got flak shells. He shot down his own missile. Thanks for that, so I don't have to dodge it. Try and get him before he fires his other missile off. Got him. Courageous has a bomb. Don't let him drop it. Trying to pick him off gently, just to see if it leaves more wreckage behind. Another victory. Not really leveling up because we're really outclassing all the enemies. What should we take first? Let's take... We'll take the guns. We need the money. Oh no, the ammunition will explode. If the ammunition explodes, it takes out another point of interest, so we want to try and secure the dangerous sites first. The second Hobart is about to arrive at Erbil. Dedan is now ours. We just got to do the rescue operations, and Tasman is on the way. Alright, now we'll go for the guns. Hopefully that should finish, and then we can take the fuel tanks, and then hopefully the other gun. Another Slogger, so we've got to watch out for missiles. Take him out. There we go. Oh. Sloggers open fire. No hits before liftoff.
The enemy has been destroyed.
It's going to be really... Oh, shot down a life pod. Sorry, war crime. Okay. Alright, so what we want... our ship, the Hobart, is able to take the 130mm or the 100mm with no changes. We've got a radio call. Let's have a look and see what's going on out in the ether. Got to try and find the right frequency. Somewhere back here. In the 80s. Going up slowly. No, we've passed it. Go back. There we go. Found the frequency. Just got to find the direction. Somewhere out to the east. Northeast. ETA in 12 hours going at 110 course north. So somewhere in that direction we just saw a radio call and they're heading due north. And it looks like their call sign might be Obsidian. So we'll draw out a line here in the direction of the radio call. And it seems to intersect with a town, Hattusa, which is also an intel center by the look of it. So we'll delete that off, and we'll write a note next to Hattusa that we have a transmission. And the fleet Obsidian is moving at 110 kilometers per hour. Now there is a chance that this is a strike group. So it's best to take note of this. So they are heading at 110 kilometers an hour. So I'll just draw a line here for reference of their speed. They were heading due north, so they're probably heading to the town above. And this is all just inference. I'm just guessing this based on the information and the angle that the transmission came from. They could be further away than this point, but this is what I'm guessing. The fleet is leaving Hattusa, heading to Moab at 110 kilometers per hour. Right, the fire is still going. We're going to collect a very expensive gun, which I might put on this ship rather than sell. A radio room. I believe we will get radio ciphers from that. And just enough time to collect the other autocannon. So that was pretty profitable. We made 6,000 off those parts. And we got a radio cipher, yep. So next we will take the fuel so we can start refueling the ship while we wait. And it looks like both rescue operations are finished, so let's take our ships into Dedon. We've got a Tarkin here, our first Tarkin. A group of people from the ship approach you. They are all dressed in military uniforms but do not appear to be armed. A tall Elam walks ahead of the rest. His face is open to the elements. A sword shows its hilt from behind his back. Glory to Jurat. Or in the name of Ishu, peace be with you. Since he seems to be native, we'll say in the name of Ishu. Sort of appeal to his faith. And this is the guy that we need to give the urn to. He looks up at you and responds. His voice is shaking. You sense that he is glad. He's going to join us. Omar is going to join us. And there are rumors of a Tarkin to the north. But it's quite far. Okay, so we've just got ourselves a new ship. A Jaguar Mark II. Appears to be a attack frigate armed with a Seawiz cannon and a big auto cannon. Looks like a 180mm dual barrel. Yeah, 180 Mark II, so it's dual barrel. It's a little bit slow. I've got a couple of turrets to sell, so we'll do that. It's a little bit slow for our fleet. And we'll buy enough fuel to go to one of the nearby towns to the southwest. Achukudu. I'm probably going to murder all of the pronunciations of the towns in this game, sorry. There we go, we got the fuel. Oh, nearly 1,000 fuel from Erbil, so that will go some way to decreasing the bill. Once the guys at Dedon are refueled, we'll head them off to the southwest. Once the guys at Erbil are finished, I don't know what we'll do with them yet. Captain's cabin. What can we find in there? Getting a decent amount of fuel from that crashed ship. We've got a intel center to the north, Ganimesh, from our flagship, who's currently passing Umar. Intercepted enemy communications, mentions of a Tarkin to the far east of the city Erbil. Okay, so the little search zone that we set up at the start of the game seems like we found some corroborating evidence. That was just a guess on my part. It just seems strange that there was something on the map there with no reason. So, second sighting, or second confirmation of a Tarkin. We're going to endeavor to cross the desert there and meet that Tarkin. But we're going to need a lot of fuel. How far is it? 2,500 kilometers. It's a lot of desert to cross. And we'll need almost double the fuel. These guys, if I want to bring them to the next depot, this is where I'm looking to go with the Tasman next. We're going to try and bounce between fuel depots. And that's where we believe a Tarkin is as well. So we could kill two birds with one stone. And hopefully we could even unlock 2 more Tarkins in the next few 20 minutes or so. Let's see. Head over to the ship works. Nothing here to meet or see. Will we fit that to the Hobart? I think I might fit that to the Hobart. While we've got money. Having the mixed armament will make it a little bit funny to use, but that will increase her power a fair amount. We don't want to change the name. And that should take very little time. In the meantime, we need to buy enough fuel to get across to Ush. Or Osh. But that will take some time as well. Alright, guess we just need to wait for the flagship to come and we can head off this strike group now to the southwest. Jaguar's got no range whatsoever. But Hobart isn't much better. The difference being that Jaguar is much slower and looks to be much better armed. Armored, I should say, not armed. Hobart can't reach anywhere by herself, otherwise I would probably send her this in this case. But we'll send her with the tanker. Let's send the Jaguar as well.
Good visual contact.
Visual contact. What do we got? Shit. Fleet coming inbound. We need to send out the Hobart to investigate what it is. It's not a strike group.
Good luck.
It's probably a trade fleet. Yep, they're turning around and running. The Hobart will be able to drag them down. Alright, they've detected us now though. They've called in our position. They're moving at 185, so they're really boosting away. And now we can't surprise town, so that other attack that we were just about to launch won't surprise the town. Interesting. What I might do is I might send the radar pickets north. Just to cover our tracks, or cover our advance as the Tasman looks to refuel and move north. Alright, one of these enemy vessels is a transport ship. If we can capture it, we get it as a prize. Where is it? Missile away on the first ship. Taken some damage. Return fire with the Moller. Return fire with the AK-100s. Missile inbound. Dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge. We got missiles everywhere. Flare, 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 flare. Ooh. Again. They're not too hard to dodge laterally, but if they come from below, they are very hard to dodge. I'll have to look about rearranging. We've taken a fire.
The enemy has been destroyed.
Whoa! That was close. We took a little bit of damage. I don't think anything too serious though, so we'll continue. Right, so we managed to capture our first prize ship. We'll take the fuel. And yeah, once we get her back to base, we'll get a big prize for that. Bunch of money. Which will go a long way to helping our war effort. We haven't had a lot of free money because I did spend a lot on ordnance at the start for our air wings. Lots of room in these fuel tanks. And that should do there, I think. We'll have more than enough fuel. Alright, our strike group is heading southwest, but they will not surprise that town now that we've raised the alarm. And ideally, we don't want to stay too long here now, in case a strike group comes south. I mean, the Hobart is strong, but I don't think it could take a strike group by itself. It's not agile enough to dodge everything, and it doesn't quite have enough firepower yet. In my testing, I could take out difficulty 4 large ships, but anything higher than that was a little bit of a struggle. A lot of that could have been just my own skill too. I haven't got the combat down pat yet. And the Hobart is only lightly armored. I only sort of defend... It's only armored against 57mm and CIWS weapons. You can take a few hits from a missile, but nothing too big.
Roger that.
Okay. Alright, we had to send the tankers out to meet them. And we'll bring everyone home to Erbil, sell the prize ship, grab enough fuel to head out into the desert to head east. Meanwhile, our strike group's about to arrive to this town here, Kudu. We'll look at sending our radar pickets north. But we need to buy more fuel for them. Or enough to go to Zephi. Which shouldn't be much at all. 200 tons. Tasman will need about 5,000 to go the same distance. There we go, we've got our fuel. Let's send the boys and girls out. on a scouting mission. Try and find us this Tarkin. I want to sit outside the perimeter of the town and scan it for threats before we move the Tasman up there. Oh, we've arrived at a battle. Hobart brought everyone. I forgot to detach them. That's okay. We weren't going to surprise them, so it's no big deal. Missile is launched. They're still on the ground though, which is pretty cool. Normally they're in the air when they're in alert status. Taken one down before he thought about what was going on. There we go. Done. Nice easy battle. We're yet to level up any of the Hobarts. What should we grab first? Let's grab some money. Show me the money. Tasman has arrived at Dead End, the refueling station. We've just sold our prize ship, so we should have more than enough money to buy all the fuel required to head north. It's going to take a lot of fuel. Actually, a lot more than I thought. I thought 5,000, but it's going to take nearly 7,000 tons of fuel. Okay. Alright, the team over at Erbil are about to head off into the desert to find this Tarkin at Osh. Just need to make sure the ship is ready. She's a little bit damaged. Let's put her in the docks.
Fire reverse thrusters. Beginning final approach.
This ship is super easy to land when it's in good condition.
500 meters.
We're yet to see what it's like to land in bad condition.
300 meters.
See if we can fit in this 68. Nope, it's a 75 meter wide. I don't think I'm going to fit.
100 meters. Throwing it ready.
We might fit? No, we're not going to fit. We'll just go over to the little pad. We don't have a lot of repairs to do, so it's no big deal. Well, there's a 26 there. We'll land there. There we go. Nice and gentle. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of an extra bonus for being on multiple pads.
Touchdown confirmed.
Ooh, we're slightly touching, but no damage. Alright, let's repair her up. Let's see how long it'll take. Less than 6 hours is acceptable. It's only going to cost us 5 credits to repair. And we don't quite have enough fuel, so we'll extend that out. Screw it, just buy heaps. We're at a fuel storage, so it'll be much quicker. Okay, once those repairs are done, we'll send them out into the desert. Radar Picket is heading north to check out Zephy for the arrival of the Tasman in about a day or two. We'll grab the survivors, we'll try and get this gun. Yep, just enough time to get the gun, and then we'll take the ammunition. Oh, we're still not ready, we're waiting on repairs. May as well buy more fuel. I thought fuel would take longer. Top off the tank. Have we got anything worthwhile buying here while we have the funds? Aircraft rockets, aircraft missiles, unguided rockets rather. I'll take 50 of those. More bombs. You can never have enough bombs. Some prox fuse, that'll be really useful. It's expensive, but we'll take a heap of it. Alright, 500 fuel, and then we'll be on our way. Rescue operation requires assistance, I think. We'll set our target for just outside the range of that town. Alright. A few more hours to go of repairs. Keeping in mind that we're at alert status, so we don't want to stay in Erbil too long. That's where we set off the alarm. What have we got here? We'll land the ship. Got a little bit of damage to the missile bay.
Beginning final approach.
Lots of nice, decent repair status pads to choose from. Let's choose this one here. Nice and fast.
Throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed.
A little bit slippery there. Too much lateral thrust. Let's bring it down in the middle here. Is it going to fit? Ooh, damn. I dented it this time. But look at all that extra bonus. Hard landing. Meh. That was the same amount of damage that we already had, I think. Not much more. Alright, repair her up. It's only going to take half an hour. Excellent. Sell those guns. Grab more fuel. It's going to cost more because it's a standard place. Just enough to go north to Abad. Still got 3 hours worth of repair here on the Hobart. And our picket ship has arrived at its destination. So we want them to land. We'll test the radar. Now, don't exactly know the range of it, how it'll work on the ground. Yeah, it is limited by your altitude. So we've how much distance do we lose on the radar by being landed? About there. So we'll lose about 140 kilometers. So we need to move a bit closer. Yes, we need to move closer just to have a look at this town. In the early stages, it'll be pretty forgiving, so if we make any mistakes here and get seen, it won't be too much of a big deal. But if we make a mistake around an aircraft carrier or a missile carrier group, trouble will be on its way on the double. My first campaign, I just, like everyone I assume does, they experiment with the nuclear weapons. And I launched one at a town, killed 40,000 people, which I wasn't very proud of. And about 10 minutes later, an unending wave of nuclear weapons came back, which was very fun. A landing here. There was nothing in the town, and we've lost the radar distance now, so we'll just turn that off. These guys have got nearly 2,500 tons of fuel to take on before they can move. This strike group is ready, so head them north. This strike group is ready, so head them to their destination across the desert at Osh. There's still a few points in between that I haven't explored, like there's the Signal Intel Center, and there's a shipyard there as well. I will get to those. But I want to put the Tasman somewhere safe, but also within distance of striking any strong strike groups that we come across. Because she does have a fair amount of long distance punching power. And the plan is to draw out a strike group, keep them busy, bombard them with either airstrikes and missiles, and then clean up with the Hobart or any other ships that we may find in the interim. Alright, here we go. Just too courageous. They're already airborne because they're alerted still.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
Alright, nice easy battle. Wait, the alarm was raised again. Did the alarm status end and then get set off? Oh, man. Okay, so we have to... Another whole period of alert status. That's not great. These guys are crossing the desert. We've got enough fuel to head north, but I don't... Oh, man, I was hoping for that alert status to be ended. What to do? Let's check on our desert friends in a moment. Got a rescue order here first. Nothing valuable, so let's go with the fuel tanks. Or the ammunition. Fuel tanks will do. Oh, let's check on our friends here. All these roads. There's roads in the middle of this desert. Let's peel off a ship and have a look around. We're halfway to our destination. We've got plenty of fuel on board the tanker. Let's go and explore these with the radar picket. We might get lucky here and find a hidden city, and if we do, that'd be great. Be our base of operations for the next, I don't know, hour of gameplay or so until we push north. Grab the ammo. Now we've spent too long at Deaden, so we've kind of got to move. Let's do it. Let's move. It's going to take nearly a day. By the time we get there, the alert status should be ended. We're nearly crossing the detection range of one of the other towns, but we should just miss it. Now let's get this radar picket out to have a look at these roads. They're curious, despite the massive blank spot on the map. Radar is off on the picket. We don't need that anymore. That was more of an experimentation than anything. I just wanted to see if that theory worked. I really do need to upgrade the radar on the pickets, I think. So the moment I get the chance to, I should do that. Give them an extra 250 kilometers of range, scanning range. Alright, let's head southwest towards the roads with the radar picket.
Godspeed.
Radar is on. We can detect our fleet flying away. Let's switch to sector ground search, rather. And we've got a big hotspot here on the map. It looks like a town. Looks like lots of towns. Oh, there's a hidden city here. Hidden people. And we found a cipher as well. Okay, let's turn everyone around and go... Oh, no. I will land the radar picket here to make contact. We will continue on our way to Osh. And then, once we've met the people of Hidden City, I think I'll end this episode here and we'll come back tomorrow. The Hidden City of People welcomes your squadron with great excitement. Its entire population pour out onto the street to meet you. The doyen of the city promises to help your squadron in any way. No one fears the gathering here. The gathering don't even know they exist. And none of our people will be giving us away. Oh, good. The place doesn't look too bad. What do you say, Duke? Should we perhaps stay here and found a colony of our own? You'd make a fine farmer, General. Indeed. I'm an old man, living out my autumn years in peace. On that note, I think we'll leave it here. I will fuel up the picket ship and send her back to the main body, and we'll catch you in the next episode of High Fleet. Commander Tyrael, out.